Some people have many friends and still feel strangely empty. Others have almost no one, yet feel more like themselves than ever. If you've ever felt lighter when you're alone, but drained after being with people, this isn't a social problem. It's a nervous system mismatch. Society often tells us that more relationships are always better. More friends, more connection, more presence. But psychology suggests something quieter. For some people, the more misaligned connections they maintain, the faster their energy drains. Not everyone with few friends is lonely, and not everyone with many friends is truly connected. The difference isn't the number of people around you. It's how your brain responds when you're inside those relationships. Some people don't have many friends not because they dislike people, but because they're tired of relationships that feel predictable from the start. You say the familiar lines and hear the familiar responses. Everything flows smoothly and politely, yet feels lifeless. And when you leave, it doesn't feel like you were fully there. What remains isn't happiness, and it isn't quite sadness either. It's a subtle emptiness, a sense that you showed up somewhere but didn't leave any trace of yourself behind. Nothing went wrong, yet nothing truly happened. When moments like this repeat often enough, your brain begins to register them. It learns something simple. Some connections drain you instead of nourishing you. Once you notice this, you stop focusing on how conversations sound and start noticing how you feel while you're inside them. At that point, your tolerance naturally decreases. Not because you've become more difficult, but because you recognize more quickly when a relationship doesn't feed you. You stop forcing yourself to stay just to keep things smooth. When your brain understands this, your behavior quietly changes. You become more selective without announcements or explanations. You simply stop stepping in so deeply. Many people assume that being alone is a sign of lack. But for some people, being alone is the least noisy state. There's no guessing how to react, no adjusting your tone or emotions just to fit the room. A very common experience for this group is feeling tired after social interaction. Not sad, not irritated, just the need for complete silence once you get home. It's your system asking for space to reset. That's because you don't only hear words. You register pauses, tone shifts, and what remains unsaid. Conversations cost you more energy than most people realize, and your body protects itself by limiting exposure. For you, social energy is a limited resource. Use too much, and it needs to be replenished. Otherwise, you begin smiling, nodding, and saying things you don't fully mean, while quietly drifting away from yourself. If we stopped here, someone might say you simply prefer quality over quantity, and that would be fair. But there's a smaller moment that often goes unnamed. It's the moment you edit your words in your head to avoid making things awkward. You weigh your response not because you want to, but because you don't want the rhythm to break. You do this so well that others assume you're always easygoing and adaptable. When this moment repeats often enough, you begin pulling your energy back. Not because you dislike anyone, but because you no longer want to trade your inner calm just to remain inside a relationship. From a psychological perspective, this reflects a high level of internal regulation. Your brain quietly asks a simple question: am I being myself here? And when the answer is repeatedly no, you choose fewer people rather than abandoning yourself. This is why many people with very few friends don't feel empty at all. They're comfortable being alone without feeling lost. They connect with themselves first, and only then decide who should truly step in. Some people are surrounded by others yet feel like they're constantly performing. Others are alone and feel whole. The issue isn't how many friends you have, but whether you have to leave yourself behind to keep a relationship. If you've recognized yourself here, perhaps you don't have fewer friends because you're hard to approach. Perhaps it's because you refuse to lose yourself just to have more people around. TESPsy is for those who observe people closely, understand psychology deeply, and choose a quieter life with greater clarity. If that feels true to you, you're welcome to stay.